and I just want to cut the fluff and take you through what it looks like going in into delivering the campaigns for the cold email campaigns, to be specific, for 100K a month cold email agency. So we just cleared 100K in December, just about. And yeah, we're on a run rate to continue that seven figures into 2026. So I just want to show you guys what this looks like. So from scratch, what the campaign manager does, the whole entire process to getting results. So we've already ordered the inboxes. We probably use cheapinboxes.com or premiuminboxes.com. We typically do some kind of split between Microsoft inboxes and Google inboxes. We don't mess with any like fancy servers, SMTP, blah blah blah. We don't need that to deliver results. So the client typically fills out some kind of onboarding form, and I want to show you how we use AI, namely Claude. I'm probably going to have to buy a new Claude subscription as I record this video, but yeah, this is the form, and this is about the only thing that I actually read. So they provide their website. Unfortunately, if I click their website, there's going to be so much information that would just inundate me. It's interesting because before AI was a thing, I would come on their website and I would scan it. I would read everything like before, like pre 2023. I would come and like it would just be such a process. But now AI can help us with that. So I'm actually not going to read that. This is about the only thing I actually read with my human eyes. For the most part, sometimes I don't even read this, but I found it just gives you an understanding of the client. So I'm just going to go through and read that here, the onboarding form. So I finished reviewing this onboarding form. It took me about 5 minutes, and it was a good thing that I reviewed it because it gives you, when you go through this form, you should get the client to fill it out, and then you should also have an onboarding call booked in 3 to 5 days later, or 2 to 5 days later, anytime after you've had a chance to review the onboarding form. And this is likely going to give you questions, and it's going to give you ideas on what to discuss with the client. So I made a few notes on the stickies. So they've got over 200 customizable programs. That's something that stood out to me. I think at some point here, they actually also put it as a USP. Mind if I share some options so I can see some kind of angle related to that? So it kind of gets me thinking as I go through it. Yeah, they've got a lot of options as well. And the annoying thing about some of these things is you give a team something to fill out and everyone's using AI. So that you just getting all of this AI. Ideally, we want someone to actually type this stuff out. Obviously, they didn't type it out. Like we asked what their USP is. This is obviously AI generated. Everything's AI generated. And that's why, yeah, you've got to use AI because everyone's using AI. So like things like this, we work with any industry. That's not helpful for us. We discuss with them what, like, based off your case studies, based off your success, where you've seen the most traction, and we'll probably pick two or three to test. This is what I just imagine. So I don't like to do too much work before the onboarding call, but this is going to give me enough to something else I saw. The problem they solved. This is way too much. There's way too much going on here. And yeah, the rest I'd leave it to AI. Yeah, also something I wanted to add why it's good to go through this yourself because AI, like if I put this in a language learning model as at January 21st, 2026, it's not able to open up this Google Doc and read it. And if I just put this into AI, it's not going to tell me, by the way, in row 4, there was a link that I couldn't open. Have a look. It's not going to tell you that. So this is their brand messaging. So this is going to be important to know from a copy perspective, as you can see here. So this is going to influence hugely how we're writing the copy. So that's something to know. Okay, so typically next, we have a campaign developer. I can open this up and you can sort of screenshot this if you want to replicate it. And we have the skill MD as well. This is basically designed to help us get a thorough understanding of the client. So apologies if I'm going too fast, but this is actually quite long. But yeah, any of these documents I do have access to, like this one is right here. So if you're watching this and you want to reach out, feel free to reach out to me. So yeah, the plan here would be to paste the onboarding form, download. I can download this as a PDF. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to download it as a CSV to make it easier to read. and I'm gonna I usually download docs as PDF. So I'm gonna upload it. Sorry, I've got a lot going on right here. I need to clear a lot of this stuff. And what's the next one? Team bonding. It's gonna be a PDF. Found it. Cleared all my downloads. Okay, and then typically we want to, let me move this to the side. Typically we want to activate deep research. Let's see. Yeah, you want to activate this research mode. Style normal is okay. And then I'm going to input a prompt, and I'm typically going to speak with ChatGPT here. I use ChatGPT as my, what do you call it? Transcriptionist, if you will. I forgot to mention, I'm also going to engage extended thinking here. And I've just had a look, my Claude usage limits. We're about to hit capacity. Yeah, updates here. I'm actually going to turn off research mode, and I'm going to switch this to Opus 4.5 because this is what was suggested in this. So use Opus 4.5, clarify that we run a high volume model. This is what's recommended in our strategy guide. I believe you can use Opus on other language learning models. I just prefer, by the way, I much prefer Claude for cold email. And yeah, right now I'm actually struggling to open up ChatGPT. I'm going to try a different browser. So I'm actually just testing. Hello, can you hear me? Just testing the output if you can hear me. I just want to see if I could record and transcribe at the same time. Great, it works. So yeah, I want to give context to the. I want to give a good input for this campaign, for this prompt. Sorry, it's later on in the day. I've already used all my mental energy, but yeah, I'm just gonna record something. So just to give you context, we are a cold email outbound agency, and we run high volume outbound campaigns for clients. We typically only send one email variant. That is our current strategy. We may include a follow up, but typically it's just one. So the client filled out an onboarding form. So I would like you to read and understand the onboarding form. You'll see it's quite comprehensive and they put quite a lot of information. I will need your help in distilling that information to help us understand who we should initially target. Like think of it in phases. Like let's say we start launching with two campaigns, then we could try this next, try that. We just always need to be testing until we find out what's working, and then we can scale that up. I've also included their brand messaging, which I'd like you to retain, which can be useful when we are writing copy also. So I may use this project, or I might just take the information from your output to write copy here. So yeah, I really need you to condense the information and give me exactly what their elevator pitch is more succinctly than they have done. And I basically want you to give us some campaign strategies, give us some questions to ask for the onboarding call. I forgot to mention we have an onboarding call on Monday, so this is not complete. There will be some things that sort of change the direction of this sort of campaign strategy. So yeah, I just want you to give us, I want you to condense and give it in layman's terms, give it as simply as possible. And also some of the angles you think that could be great to run. Let's go. So I'll just wait for the output. I mean the input. I wait for the input to finish loading. And yeah, unfortunately, Claude doesn't have anything like this just yet. And yeah, actually, I want to add something to this. So I'm going to say, please bear in mind that our usage for Claude for the week is almost complete. So I do not want you to ask me any questions. We will send you more information in due course. I want you to give me a solid output, and I want you to break things down and make it so that a teenager could understand exactly what this client does and exactly how to run cold email campaigns, and you can develop the strategy. And I say that because sometimes it might come back with some questions, like the way these GPTs work and stuff, and then it will say, "Oh, sorry, we've reached your limit. Try again later." That's not what I want. So yeah, this is all for now. If I had the call, if we had already conducted the call, I would add the call transcript to something like this. And you don't actually need like this campaign developer. This is in fact my first time using it. It was suggested that I try it, so it's not typically the way I would go about launching campaigns. But what I'm saying is, all you have to do is create a separate project, add information on your copywriting, add information on your business, add information on their business, and just want to keep it separate and dedicated. So the mistake a lot of people make is just create new chats, create new chats. You want to create projects. You can do this on ChatGPT as well, but I highly recommend Claude. I'm just going to run this. Obviously, it's running. So I'm going to leave this video here. I might, in fact, I might just pause it and come back when it's done. So it didn't take long. It actually took less than a few minutes. And I always ask AI to sort of make it simple, because keeping it simple, the KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid, keeping it simple always wins. We've called emails simple emails beat long emails. I'm keeping the strategy simple, keeping the copy simple. That is a key fundamental with cold email. So I'm just going to read through it with these guys. What do they do? They run team building events for companies. They show up at your office, hotel, or wherever teams meet, and run fun activities that help co-workers actually connect with each other. So this is much better than the way they described it. Think of it like this: when a company has a big meeting, retreat, or wants to boost morale, someone has to plan an activity. That person, usually an EA, HR, event planner, has two choices: DIY, higher team bonding. Makes sense. So yeah, we've launched. I've managed campaigns like this before, so I kind of already knew the gist or got the gist. Remote hybrid work, people feel disconnected, new hires, low morale, team bonding, makes the person who books them look like a hero. Zero stress for the planner. The event goes smoothly, everyone has fun. With events at your location, we bring the facilitators, handle around 200 plus different activities designed to connect. 35 plus years. That's interesting. Work with companies like, yeah, actually, I didn't even actually get their case studies, and we make it effortless for whoever's planning it. I'm actually just going to have a look here. See, who are their case studies? Available case studies. We have so many to share. Maybe we can chat about how best to share this. So this is another thing we want to discuss in the meeting. Also, do not contact list. Google reviews, internal feedback. We can build on this as well. Client videos. So the issue is that this is not helpful to us in terms of the case studies. We want the biggest name case studies. So that's probably what we're going to ask them on the call, biggest name case studies. Your best case studies that we can use. Moving on, who to target. EAs, we have a bunch of these leads. HR directors, VP people, internal events managers. Tier 2, Tier 3, fantastic, 500 to 5,000. I want to see if they provided information on the company size as well. Okay, they actually said 200 to 10,000, sweet spot 500 to 5,000. So I'm keeping going here. I'm just getting some Slack messages now. Tech, lots of them are. Yeah, okay, so this is great. USA early, phase 1, launch campaigns, sales, kickoff season. I don't know if we're going to start with that, but it's provided some suggestions. Event planner, EA angle. Yeah, so it's solid. Am I going to go through all of this? Not right now. It's too much. So I'm actually going to wait for the onboarding call.